Right, I can't believe I'm hearing myself say this, but Nicola Sturgeon, wee Jimmy Cranky up in Scotland, the leader of the SNP, is set to resign. And this news has brought me great joy, as it will for many other unionists up in Scotland. Now, I'm glad to see the back of her because she is dangerous. She is a Marxist. And Marxists usually, throughout history, they've had to be uprooted from power. They've had to be forcibly removed because Marxists, extreme leftists like Nicola Sturgeon, they crave power. That's what they're after. She completely ignored the will of the Scottish people. The referendum they had recently, in which they voted to stay within the United Kingdom, and she still pushed for independence. And of course, independence is a fallacy with these Scottish nationalists. It's the same with the Welsh nationalists. They want so-called independence from the United Kingdom, but ultimately they want to be the slaves to Brussels, the unelected bureaucrats in the EU. They need to be told what to do, ultimately. And of course, within that would have come a lucrative job for Nicola Sturgeon. So she was out for herself at the end of the day, and Scotland deserved so much better than this Marxist separatist menace. Now, I believe there are two reasons why she is resigning. One being the support for independence from the UK plummeting at an all-time low, and the fact that she couldn't get one legally. And that's all her party had, the SNP, to go on. It was basically run on an anti-English, anti-British policy, and there's plenty of that in Scotland, sadly, to this day. She effectively removed the freedom of speech in Scotland by introducing the ridiculous hate speech laws. Her party approved on social media and everywhere else where they could be heard of British immigration officials being stopped by left-wing extremist students from deporting illegal migrants or migrants who'd overstayed their welcome. But perhaps the last straw for her was she threw Scottish women and girls under the bus to appease a dangerous gender ideology. You just do not mess with people's kids. You don't play politics with people's kids. She wanted to help bring in a law in Scotland that meant little kids, little children, tiny dots, could be encouraged to identify as another gender, and they don't have to tell their parents. They tell their teachers, and it's all kept quiet. That was wrong. And then there was the half-man, half-woman rapist who was due to be housed in an all-female Scottish prison, which is effectively putting a fox in with the chickens. And then along with that came the car crash interview where she flustered, tripped over her words, and for the life of her just couldn't tell the reporter, gave the reporter a straight answer as to what a woman is. And so in the end, it was her own ideology, her politics, her left-wing, extremist, Marxist, socialist bullshit that brought her down. She threw the Scottish people under the bus to appease left-wing politics and the woke mob on Twitter, basically. And people are sick of it. You can only push this nonsense onto people for so long before they snap. So she must have known, really, that the wind was blowing against her, so the monster jumped before it was pushed, and I'm so glad to see her go. I really am, and I suspect many others are too. So there we go. Good riddance, Nicola Sturgeon. Don't let the door hit you on the arse on the way out, and may you never ever darken the doors of British politics ever again. So there we go. That's my video. Good news, and until the next time, Roger Trout.